Vincent Van Gogh, people told him, you can't be a great painter, you only have one ear. You know what he said? I can't hear you.
Listening to Sippin' Sports, a Phillies sports talk morning show with KJ and Dalt. Proudly powered by 302 Birds. Let's take it to the show.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Sippin' Sports podcast. This morning, we got Jonah Castle and myself on the mic breaking down the latest and the greatest for you guys in Philly sports. Obviously, we're going to talk about the Phillies being hotter than hell. We're going to talk about the Sixers getting started with their practice. Eagles, Patriots have had their joint practice as well as a preseason game tonight. We will preview. And last but not least, I want to know in the comments, if you guys are here, start flooding them. What is the best Philly sporting event you have ever been to in your career as a Philly sports fan? Let us know in the comments. This is a great question. Shout out to our producer, Justin, because I was thinking about it. I know what my answer is. I hope Jonah knows what his answer is.
I got two, and I'm going to say them both, but I can't decide. I just can't decide.
All right, well, I'm glad you have two, because that's even better, dude. That's awesome. I love that you came prepared with two. That's sick. But before all of this, Jonah and I have to dive in to the Philadelphia Phillies. And if you guys want to call into the show, be a part of the show, feel free. Those phone lines are open this morning. Todd, if you're out there, Jordan, if you want to call in, that number's 302-316-4848. We would love to talk with you guys. But Jonah, Fratty, and Justin, speak of the devil, our producer backstage, the Miracle Boys, they're calling on my hair. I mean, ever since that Field of Dreams game and they went to the 52nd floor, this team has been on fire.
Maybe they can get 52 wins in a row for the second floor, or the 52nd floor. I would take that, but I'll definitely take 7 wins. Ever since that Field of Dreams game, they've been remembering what small ball is. Alec Boehm's been on fire, RBIs in every game since that game, and I'm just pumped. This team looks like they could put something together. I said that the big guys need to come out, and it's been everybody. I mean, it hasn't necessarily been Schwarber. It hasn't necessarily been Harper, but who it has been is Boehm, and it's been Stott, and it's been Brian De La Cruz with a big pinch hit last night. I mean, everybody is showing up. The pitching has been solid. This is what I've been waiting for from this team.
Right? And you got Jordan. Shout out to Jordan in the comments. Don't let us get hot. He's right. I mean, that's the thing about this Phillies team. They are their own best friend or their own worst enemy. And is 52 the lucky number? I don't know, Justin. Super Bowl 52 as well.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
maybe 52, right? And you said, hey, they're already 7 down. So they don't need 52 wins, Fratty and Justin now. They only need 45. Now they need 45 more wins. 7 of them are already done. They already won 7 straight. So I'm just really happy with what I've seen from this Phillies team, right? This is so refreshing as a fan. This gets you excited. This gets you on the edge of your seat. This is what Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, and the rest of this team, when they're gelling, should look like. Now, going into the end of the game last night, all 3 of them, Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, and Bryce Harper, were 0 for 9. That's a story for another day. But, you can't be perfect every game. And my main thing is it's nice to see other people on this team showing up, like Alec Boehm. It's nice to see them play with a different style where they don't have to beat the shit out of a team to put up 7 runs with home runs. They can actually play small ball, they can play smart, and they can get a walk-off win. I mean, I'll tell you what, that place last night was rocking. I mean, as it always is. But when Alec Boehm hit that walk-off, it felt like everybody was just so happy for him, right? Alec Boehm is somebody who, love him to death, but he's had a lot of mental health battles in this city, to put it lightly. And the city isn't easy to play for. We all know. We demand a lot. But it was really good to see Alec have a great moment last night as a
Absolutely.
Philly, earn that win for the team, and enjoy that moment with his brothers.
What I'll tell you is I have not seen one hitter add as much to this Phillies team as Luis Arias did since his arrival. He has changed everything because now there's a solid hitter behind Bryce Harper. Bryce Harper, obviously, he did not get on base last night, he did not get a hit last night, but there's a threat behind him now, and I guess Alec Boehm was that threat who wasn't really very threatening. Now he's a little bit more threatening, but still, Luis Arias has added so much to this team, and he's revitalized small ball. That is what the goal was bringing him in, is getting somebody who's just gonna get hits no matter what it takes. You don't need to beat the crap out of the ball, send it out of the yard to get a hit when it's Luis Arias. He's already got 2 home runs as a Philly, which is surprising to me, but he does not need to do that. The small ball is king. That's what baseball is made for. You get a single and then hit a double, that's 3 total bases, and you score a run. A home run's 4 total bases. I'd rather get 3 total bases to score a run than 4 total bases. Small ball is what it's all about. That's how you win games.
Yeah, small ball is how you win in this league. And I really think, back to the point, too, about the 2 home runs, right? When he first came here, he only had 4, right? Like, he didn't have that many because he's notoriously a small ball guy. That's what he's known for. He had the highest batting average, though, in the league, or the second highest, So he's insane when it comes to putting the ball in play, which is exactly what this team needed. But the 2 home runs thing is pretty interesting you bring that up. I was thinking about it last night, and I was with Chaos Chris last night. Shout out to Chaos Chris. Huge baseball fan, huge historian, and hilarious guy in general, too. So we're sitting there, and he said, yo, did you know when Citizens Bank Park was first built, the outfields actually were 5 feet closer? And I was like, no. He's like, you see where the flower beds are? He's like, so they actually used to be out that far, closer, and then they added the flower beds, I guess, to make them further or something. Long story short, there were so many home runs that they had to move it back more. So I'm thinking about it now, and I don't think that that's the case with Arise, because pretty much every single MLB stadium, it isn't standard, but, you pretty much know where you're getting into. But maybe it's something with the vibes with Phillies fans that he really aligns with and meshes with. Because the fact that, look, I'm not a math guy, but the fact that he had 4 home runs all year, he has 6 on the year right now, and he already hit 2 in the month that he's been here. You know what I mean? Like, it's a long season. So I really can't believe that. That's a shocking stat to me.
What I will say about Luis Arias is before he came to the Phillies, I was monitoring him this spring in the World Baseball Classic. This dude tears up the World Baseball Classic. He had 2 home runs in 1 game in a World Baseball Classic game. I don't know what it is, but it seems like on the biggest stage, he brings out the power, and I guess that's what he's brought to Philly because, it's a bigger stage than the San Francisco Giants. They're pretty terrible right now, and I would tell you that the Phillies fans are a little bit more into their games than the San Francisco Giants fans. So Luis Arias to the occasion, and now we got a squad. That's what I'll say.
Luis all rise. I'm with it, dude. But yeah, like, it's exciting for the Phillies. It's a great time for them because I feel like they're the team that needed this jolt of energy the most, right? Like, the Phillies have let us down time and time and time again. And I'm not saying that they're not gonna not this year, right? Like, hey, don't be coming for my neck if that happens, Phillies fans, okay? What I am saying is they're making a push. They're doing what we're asking them to do. So you got to give credit where credit's due. It's not like they're laying here and dying like they were a month ago or like they were 2 weeks ago going into the Field of Dreams game. They actually have life and a lot of it. So it's a really exciting time to be a fan. And I'll tell you what, if they get 3 sweeps straight and they can find a way to close out this series against this Cardinals team, not only are we going to be hyped up as fans, but I feel like they're going to just be invigorated as a team. Like, they're just going to have a whole new level of motivation. Like, what's stopping us now? You know what I mean? Like, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. We're the best team in the MLB when we want to be.
I don't know if I agree with that, but I do agree with what you were saying about how they're fired up, and this is what we wanted to see about them. And I think there's a difference between being overly confident and saying they are going to win the World Series and saying that, yeah, this team has done what we've asked of them. Do I think that the Phillies are going to win the World Series? No, I don't. But I am very pleased with what they've done in the last 7 games. So I am choosing to be optimistic right now. Do I think that their luck or whatever this stretch is going to run out eventually? Sure, I do. But I'm happy to ride the wave as we stand. I don't think they're going to win the World Series, but playing like this, they absolutely have a shot, and they've done what I've asked them to do.
So let me ask you a question, hypothetically. And I was thinking about this the other day. If the Dodgers, hypothetically, because KJ and I were talking about this, if the Dodgers hypothetically get eliminated, how much more like first round, something crazy.
Yeah.
Like say the Phillies don't go up again, or the Phillies eliminate them, whatever. If they get eliminated first round, how much more serious do you take the Phillies? Because everybody thinks the Dodgers are going to win it. I get it. It's how, the league's going. But if the Dodgers get knocked out first round, how much more serious are you going to take the Phillies for a World Series?
It definitely depends on if the Phillies are the ones to do it, because nobody's eliminated the Dodgers in the last 2 years. The team who eliminates the Dodgers, I think, immediately becomes the World Series favorite, because you have to play a different level of baseball to beat the Dodgers. This team is 1-9 stars, and their pitching rotation, they basically have 2 pitching rotations. That's how good they are. This team spends so much money, and it has made itself to where you have to play a different level of baseball to defeat them in a series. So I think whoever beats them is the immediate World Series favorite. You got to beat the champ to be the champ. So if the Phillies eliminate them, I am taking them seriously as World Series favorites. If somebody else eliminates them, then I'm thinking about it. Well, can the Phillies actually beat this team that just went out and beat the best team in baseball? That's how I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, they are the best team in baseball, but at the same time, every Goliath must fall.
Yep.
Right? Like at some point, and they've been really lucky the past couple of years. So I'm waiting on it. And I don't know. I'll be the one to say. It's like Fortnite, right? Sometimes you don't want to be out in the open, and sometimes you just want to hang out under the radar, right? You just kind of want to be in that I didn't play a ton of Fortnite. God, I haven't played it since
I got
college.
nothing.
What do they call that? Like purple zone, or the zone you want to be in, right? Like the circle. Long story short, hang out on the edge of the circle until you get to like the final 4 teams. Then out of nowhere, just go on a 3 kill streak. You know what I mean? Boom. Done. Like the Phillies have that potential. They have that roster. They have a closer. Like they just need everybody to show up. Brandon Marsh, right? Like Brandon Marsh was playing very good baseball this year. Like everybody's capable on the Phillies team. So I actually, even though I don't like Dave Dombrowski, I do hear part of what Dave Dombrowski's saying about the capability of the team. Like they are capable. The question is, will they put it together? And I don't know. I do think that they're going to put it together this year. I'm really excited for it, and it's going to be a fun season here. If you want to do that, you'll put me in the left side. I got you, bro. It's like weird. I know what you're saying. But yeah, like Dave Dombrowski, I don't want to say I resonate with, but I do get that point of it because we've seen it this year with this team, right? Like everybody at different parts of the season has done like really well at their job. But now, right, it's August, late August to be specific. Everybody do it at the same time. That's what we need. That's like as Bill Belichick said, right? Like just do your job, everybody. But if you can have Bryce Harper be the leader that he needs to be, if you can have Kyle Schwarber hitting nukes as he needs to, you can have Arise putting the ball in play, Alec Boehm not having temper tantrums, playing baseball like he is now, RBI king. You can have Marshy out there playing like he played in the beginning of the season, right? Then you have Duran come in and close it out, right? Like you have this roster that when everybody's good, like it's a very good team. I think could give a team like the Dodgers a run for their money. I'm not saying they're better than the Dodgers. I do hear your point on that. But look, it's a sport. And the Phillies are built actually top to bottom when the team is performing and not injured too. Like, don't even get me started on Wheeler and Luzardo last night. You know what I mean? Like, there were a couple moments where I was like, eh. But then there were a couple moments where I was like, I like this kid a lot, you know? So I'm excited to see how Luzardo really does throughout Red October, too.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. The Phillies are absolutely capable. And look, the Blue Jays were in the World Series last year. They got one shoe size of Will Smith. If his shoes were one size smaller, they win the World Series because he just tapped his toe on home plate, bases loaded, ground ball to second base, throw to the plate. Will Smith, by the tips of his toes, gets the out. The Dodgers go on to win in the top of the 11th with a Will Smith home run, and the Blue Jays can't finish it off. But that Blue Jays team was not nearly as good as the Dodgers, and I wouldn't even say that they were as good as this Phillies team. But what they had was everybody going off at the same time. Ernie Clement broke the playoff hits record. Bo Bichette was going off. He had a home run in that game. All their pitchers were pitching great. Trey Savage, great season, better playoffs. Max Scherzer locked it down in Game 7. So you don't need a team of straight all-stars to beat the Dodgers. Obviously, it helps because that's what the Dodgers have, but they just need to have players play well at the same time, and that's what the Phillies have right now. I need them to do it in 2 months.
Yeah. I'm excited for this season. It's going to be fun. Get ready, Phillies. 7 straight. Going to make it 8 tonight. Maybe 9 tomorrow, knock on wood. I will say,
Let's start with 8.
My World Series is partially them sweeping the Cardinals. Like, that's like the thing I want the second most to happen. I'm not even kidding. KJ knows why. There's a video that I've had on ice for like 2 years. And if they sweep the Cardinals, I'll be able to use it, finally.
Whoa.
So I really, really have wanted to use that video for the past couple of years. So, Phillies, please, please, please don't let me down. But moving on now, I'm going to bounce past it to somebody who probably knows a little bit more, well, a lot more about basketball than me. How excited are you, Jonah, about seeing Jaylen Brown, LeBron James, and Tyrese Maxey all practicing together?
Let me do it real quickly. Smiling through it all. Can't believe this is my life. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. LeBron James is a Philadelphia 76er. I know we've been saying that for the past month, but this feels real. I watched him play basketball with Jaylen Brown and Tyrese Maxey, and I don't know how you stop this team healthy because those 3 guys looked great. Imagine what happens when you add VJ Edgecombe and Joel Embiid. That is the best starting lineup in the NBA. I don't know how you stop it. You can switch their positions all you want. You can put LeBron at point guard. You can do whatever you want except switch Embiid out of center because he's the only center that they've got. But this team is versatile. This team is into it. And most importantly, this team is really, really damn good at basketball. So I am pumped. I am over the moon. This is the best I've ever felt about the Philadelphia 76ers going into a season.
Yeah, it's going to be a really great season. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for what it's going to be for Maxey. Maxey's been a guy who's really had to kind of sometimes not swallow his pride, but be stuck with the Sixers organization, for lack of a better term. Whether it be Embiid being not the best teammate, whether it be the organization making not the best moves. Like, how often in the league as a 3rd or 4th year player do you have to go up to an NBA MVP and tell him that he needs to do more? Like, I think it was only Maxey's 3rd, 4th, maybe 5th year at that point, probably 5th or 6th actually. And you have to go up to a NBA MVP. This is Embiid's team. I mean, now it's not anymore, but it was.
This is Maxey's team.
And you got to basically go up to him and challenge him in front of the whole team and say, you're not doing enough. Like, God bless you. God bless you, Tyrese Maxey, because you really have put up with a lot. So if there is anybody that deserves to shine the most out of this whole Sixers team, it's him. What I love what the Sixers have finally done is they've paired him up with true experience in Brown and Braun having NBA Finals experience. Like, that's a nice thing is if Embiid's, playing games or isn't doing his thing, he's not going to be called out by Maxey. LeBron James is going to be in his face. Jaylen Brown, same thing. I really, really like what they're bringing to the table with these guys' leadership and accountability.
I'm going to push back on that comment.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid was not losing games for the Sixers in the playoffs. Joel Embiid was winning games for the Sixers in the playoffs. If the Sixers didn't have Joel Embiid, they would have lost those games anyway. They would have gotten swept by the Knicks without Joel Embiid. They would have gotten swept by the Knicks with Joel Embiid. The only reason that they actually made it to the series with Joel Embiid was because they had Joel Embiid. 3-1 down, Joel Embiid comes back, 3 straight wins, Celtics eliminated. That's Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid was not the one losing them games. They lose those games either way. It doesn't matter if Embiid's playing, if Bona's playing, if I'm playing at center, if prime Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is playing at center. No one was beating that Knicks team that year. Embiid was not the one losing the Sixers games.
Yeah, I really, my main thing is, with some fans, what Embiid has done will never be enough. And I get that. But what I would say to those fans, give it a year. If they win the championship, all is forgiven. Like, they just got to go out and get a ring. You just got to win it one time in this city. Like the 2017 Eagles, right? Like, you just got to win it one time in this city. You got to win it, but you only got to win it one time. So, yeah, I'm excited for the Sixers team. I'm excited for their future. I'm excited for the Eagles' future tonight. They have a preseason game. They're going up against the New England Patriots. They're up in New England, up in Boston. If any of you guys are up there, send us any footage you have. I'd love to see it. But going to be an exciting one tonight. Do I think we're going to see A.J. Brown and Quinyon Mitchell go at it? No, it's preseason. I would actually be shocked if, honestly, any starters on either team are out there tonight. But what we will get to see is how some of these younger players continue to develop. As we know yesterday, Johnny Wilson off the team, he gets cut. Longtime wide receiver with the Eagles, could never really fill out his potential. He's done. So the Eagles, I think, are having less of a tolerance with this stuff. Keely Ringo, I think, is actually potentially next. Even though he had a great pick last week, he could be next. We do need that special teams player, but he's on thin ice. Watch the right guard battle. Tyler Steen has had a good practice. I've heard that he's on the risers list. We need that right guard spot filled. We really do, especially with it being Lane's last year. Like, they need to make sure that right guard is playing at a high level, not only so that when Lane leaves, we're okay there, but at the same time, help cover for Lane. Like, he's old as fuck out there. Like, give brother a break. Like, come on. Like help him out. Like, the more that right guard can be powerful, the easier it's going to make Lane Johnson's job. And I think the Eagles should strive to do that. And one more thing, Stoutland's gone. So we really need to show up offensive line-wise.
I love what you were saying about Tyler Steen. I got nothing but praise for that guy. He was an above-average right guard in year 1. Imagine what he'll do in year 2. And it wasn't year 1 because he was on the bench for a year after he got drafted. But year 1 of starting, he was above average in the league. I think he's only going up. So I'm very confident in this year's offensive line. I don't know how much of an impact Stoutland had. Obviously, it was real and it was tangible. But maybe it's the players. Maybe the players are just really damn good. And we're not going to see that much of a drop-off from year to year without Jeff Stoutland. Like, look at this team. Jordan Mailata is one of the best left tackles in the game. Landon Dickerson is one of the best left guards in the game. Cam Jurgens is a solid center. He's no Kelsey, but that's a pretty damn high bar. So, and then Steen, I just said he's above average, and then Lane Johnson's the best. Bad take. Okay, explain that to me. Why are the players not good enough? Jeff Stoutland absolutely had an impact, but the players are the players. Jeff Stoutland's not going on the field and blocking for Saquon Barkley. That's fine. He was the greatest O-line coach of all time, but that doesn't mean he was going on the field and blocking. At the end of the day, it's the players who are doing the work, and the players are really, really good at football. So I'm not worried about this offensive line, and I got nothing but praise for Tyler Steen. And the backups as well, I'm really excited to see. Drew Kendall, good backup center, and I think he'll switch over to right guard with Willie Lampkin, who I have been absolutely gassing up, but he deserves it. Willie Lampkin is one of my favorite Eagles because the dude is just, he embodies Philly. He's 5'11". He's big and he's powerful and he plays through the whistle. He's an underdog. He got waived by the Rams, and now he's on the Philadelphia Eagles, and I think he's going to make this team. I know he's going to make this team because he has been showing out. Nobody could have developed these guys in changing positions like that. You don't know that. I think this is a coulda, woulda, shoulda.
I hear both sides. I
Yeah.
mean, I get what you're saying. Like, it's not like Stoutland's going out there and being Jason Kelsey. But Tyler does make a good point, though, about Becton. Like, there
That's
is
fair.
certain guys that Stoutland could work magic with. Like, that's why I miss Stoutland. And also,
I don't not miss Stoutland. I'm just saying I think they'll be fine. This is one of the best offensive lines in the league.
I think they'll be okay. I think there's going to be a drop-off, though. I think we're going to see a pretty big drop-off. Because my thing is this. Steen's lucky that he got to at least experience Stoutland. Any of the guys who got to at least experience Stoutland, that's a good thing. Because it's like, not only did you get, like, the best offensive line coach in NFL history, but, like, you also got, like, you're going to get a new coach. So that's going to develop you as a person having two different perspectives, which is great.
Well
The
said.
younger guys is who I'm really worried about. Like, I almost wish that we could bring back Stoutland for, like, a consulting thing or something like that. The problem is that relationship is done now. Like, it's gone sour. It's really over. So we'll see how this goes. But my main thing is, like, I'm really, really nervous about how this O-line's going to play. Because that was the thing about Jeff, too. Like, offensive line is a very emotional position, right? Like, you're either blamed for when the game is going wrong or when everything's going right, nobody notices that you're doing everything and you're tired as hell and you're having to fight your ass off so that Saquon Barkley can have that run. So it's like kind of like you're the unsung hero. But I think Stoutland had a way of controlling a room and also motivating these guys and leading these guys. So did Kelsey. And I'm not saying Lane doesn't. I'm not saying Malata doesn't. I'm not saying that they don't have great players. Like, I see your side too, Jonah. But I do think there's going to be a drop-off offensive line-wise. Like, they struggled last year offensive line-wise. I don't know. I don't think getting rid of Stoutland helped that. That was
No,
the
it definitely
one
didn't
decision
help.
that they made that I was like, oh, God. And I'm not saying you think that either. And I don't think he thinks that either, Tyler, in the comments. I think we all agree Jeff Stoutland is a great coach. I just think some of us think, hey, we'll be okay, which I don't knock that either. If you're going to be positive about this offensive line, hey, I will say having Saquon Barkley and Tank Bigsby running behind you is only going to help, right? It's not like you have a nobody back there. You have the best running back, I think one of the best duos in football. But it's like, how good is Saquon going to be this year too? That's what I'm really interested to see. Because that's actually one more thing. That's something KJ and I were talking about at this joint practice. I didn't hear anything about Saquon. Like, anything. Like, and I would have thought I would have heard, like, Saquon Barkley rips off nice 25-yard run or one story pop out. Like, something. You know what I mean? Didn't have to be a house call. But, like, Saquon Barkley has a nice run or nice truck or not a hurdle, but, like, something. No
Saquon's
words
hurdling
of
in practice,
Saquon
that's
Barkley
getting
were
shut
uttered
down.
at all. What'd you say? Say it again.
I said if Saquon's hurdling in practice, that's getting shut down immediately.
Yeah. Nick's not going to be happy.
Yeah, that is Nick's job, to tell people when they're doing wrong things.
Yeah. But what do you think about that? I mean, I haven't heard much about Saquon. So is that concerning to you, or you think we'll be okay? And thank you, Tyler. We appreciate you, dude. We love you.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Tyler. That was a good conversation. And I'm not discrediting Jeff Stoutland. I just think that the Eagles have a really, really good offensive lineman. And we got to credit those guys as well, and not just their coach. But about Saquon, I think he's going to be good. I think it always sucks when your running back gets older. Like, all positions, but especially your running back. We've seen year-over-year drop-offs from running backs from age 29 to 30 more than any other age, and Saquon is in his age 30 season. So that's a little bit worrying. The efficiency was worrying last year, only 4.1, 4 point some yards per carry, down from 5.6 or 5.5. So how much of that is the play calling? And how much of that is Saquon is not a 2,000-yard rusher anymore? I think only time will tell. I think he will have a better season, and that is based on the more creative offensive play calling. Because, and I talked with Zach Berman from The Athletic, Eagles beat reporter, about this, and he said something that was really interesting about Saquon. That is basically like, think about the more interesting play calling, the less boring and uncreative. If Saquon had 5 rushes of 20 yards last year, the year before they would have been 60-yard rushes. That's plus 200 some yards to his total. And there you're at an all-pro running back season. So the play calling, I think, is going to make a huge impact because these rushes are going to be turning into house calls again because of the play calling. They're going to be getting Saquon into space, and he's going to be doing his thing, and I trust the guy because he's Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, that makes total sense. I hear you. I trust him too. I'm interested to hear, okay, we always know the first 2 weeks of preseason, we don't see much of the starters, right? Like, it's more a battle, position battle. The third week, come next week when the Bengals come to town, we should be hearing more about these starters getting up, getting rumbling. That's usually the last week that they take seriously. And what a great preseason matchup for the Eagles. This could be a potential Super Bowl matchup, guys. Joe Burrow and Jalen Hurts. The Bengals are trying to really make a comeback this year, and the Eagles want to be in that Super Bowl. We know the logo conspiracy, too, with the orange and the green. This could be a Super Bowl. So this is a great tune-up preseason game for the Eagles right before the regular season. But I am very, very excited for this third preseason game. And I just want to see more about Saquon because that's what went well for the Eagles in 2025, 2024 was the run game and Saquon. And if they can play to that again, then it's going to make Jalen Hurts' job easier. It's going to make Devontae's job easier. Mekhi Lemon, everybody else is just going to fall into place and it's going to work out. And maybe, Justin, maybe, but I don't know. I still could see Joe Burrow and Jalen Hurts, right? Like, Joe Burrow's been there before. He's really got a chip on his shoulder. And I don't know. The one thing I'd be afraid of is, I feel like your second time back in a Super Bowl. I mean, we know Jalen was there. You really don't want to lose when you know what it feels like to lose once before. So Eagles would need to be on their A game. But tonight, as far as the preseason game goes, very, very excited to see what some of these position battles hold. Very excited to see probably the tight end 2 or tight end 3, who's going to emerge there, who's going to emerge at the right guard position like we were talking about. Safety is probably still up for grabs. And I also want to see how some of these corners play, right? Like, can you hang, right? Like, some days, I've heard, especially with Tariq Woolen, it's the best thing ever, and he has pick 6, and then the day before, he doesn't look so good. And that's what apparently a lot of Seattle fans told us, so we'll see. But I want to bring back up Tyler's question here about, do you guys believe in Mannion? Thank you, Justin. Yeah, I would say yes. I do like the Frank Reich take because Frank Reich went well, but I feel like the QB position in the NFL is constantly changing. And look, the NFL QB 7 years ago is closer to what the NFL QB was 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago, where it was just a true pocket passer, right? Tom Brady, 54 speed, right? Like we remember. So like I get that.
He might be faster now than he was at 22.
Yeah. But what I'm trying to say too is like, I don't know that Frank Reich would be a good fit for Jalen Hurts and for this team. Like, I think he was for Carson, and I think he was for Nick, and he was great with the Vikings, right? But 2017 was a different time, and Frank Reich was a little bit older then. He's older now. I would be okay with it, but I actually really like the Mannion hire. Like, the more I looked into the Mannion hire, and Tyler, I would tell you, dude, you know me, dude, I'm a no bullshit guy. I would tell you, like, when they hired Brian Johnson, I was like, who the fuck is this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, come to find out, he's been on our team for years.
He's
I'm like,
Jalen Hurts'
why
best
would
friend,
we
man.
do
What do you
that?
mean?
Like, I wanted Eric Bieniemy. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted like a established offensive coordinator, and I was like, okay, the Chiefs have won multiple Super Bowls, no brainer. And then they bring in like somebody who's never been an offensive coordinator before. It's like, what? You know what I mean? Like typical Eagles fashion. Point is, I like Mannion. And I feel like even though Mannion may not have the resume that some Eagles fans want, if you look at what he's done and you're a true football fan, which I am, but I'm like at the same time, I don't dive too much into it. A lot of my football fans, even that aren't Eagles fans, are like, yo, you got a really good one with that offensive coordinator. So I believe in him, but also knock on wood as an Eagles fan. I need to see it first.
I don't think it can possibly be worse than last year. And last year they went 11-6 and made the playoffs. So floor is the Eagles are making the playoffs. Ceiling is you have the next Ben Johnson on your hands. And I don't see why not. Like, if you want to have the next offensive mastermind, you got to take a chance on a guy who could be the next offensive mastermind. And Sean Mannion, I don't see a reason why he wouldn't be, except for the fact that he hasn't called plays before. But you're not going to be able to call plays until you get the chance to call plays. And now he's getting his chance to call plays. So I don't see a downside in this. The only downside is if they go out and have the best offense in the league, he's getting poached. But at that point, is that even a downside if you're winning? I don't think so. So Sean Mannion, I'm pumped. I'm excited to see how he runs this offense in the regular season because we haven't really seen much from the playbook. He's not emptying it in preseason week 1.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's gonna be exciting season. Great question, Tyler, and thanks for tuning around with us, Tyler. We appreciate you, bro. But let's see, Carson low-key more mobile than Hurts now, but I hear you. I do think Hurts needs to stay in the pocket more. I'm a huge Nick Sirianni hater because he defends. Yeah, I get that. Look, I think Jalen is gonna become more of a pocket passer in his career, and I hear your point on that, but that may not be a bad thing. Right? Like if Jalen is good enough that he can be a trusted pocket passer more, and look, Jalen's always gonna run it. We know that. Like it's not gonna be like a confidence thing with Jalen. Like it may be like an ability, the older he gets, but I don't think it's ever gonna be a confidence or mental thing with Jalen like it was with Carson. Like after Carson got injured, it was a mental block. There was something up there. But I really think that they'll be okay. But a question we want to ask all you guys, let us know in the comments. Tyler, let us know too. Really great question by our producer here. What is the best Philly sporting event you have ever seen live? So it can't be something you've watched on TV, ideally. It should be a game, ideally, that you've been to live. So, like, for example, KJ was at the game where Saquon had the reverse hurdle. So he got to see that against the Jaguars. Said it was sick. Said it was one of the coolest experiences of his life. So I'll start with Jonah, and then we'll go to me, and then let us know in the comments what you guys got. What is the coolest Philly sporting event you have ever seen live?
So for me, hands down, it is also that Eagles-Jaguars game. But I'm not going to talk about that because KJ went to it. Everybody knows that story. What I want to talk about is 2 of the other cool games that I've been to. I'll go through them quickly because I got a list. Flyers 2018, beginning of April, last game of the season. Claude Giroux goes off against the Rangers. 5-0 Flyers win. Brian Elliott gets the shutout, and Claude Giroux scores his first career hat trick. Only career hat trick. That was unbelievable. That was one of the first hockey games that I went to. I think it was probably my 3rd or 4th hockey game I went to, and Claude Giroux scored a hat trick. Got to throw my hat on the ice. That was awesome. Claude Giroux, captain. One of my favorite Flyers ever. That was awesome. My other one, play-in game this year, Sixers Magic. I had the opportunity to go courtside, which is obviously going to make the game a better experience. And that was unbelievable. They were wearing their throwback jerseys, which I love. I had my VJ Edgecombe black jersey on, and they beat the Orlando Magic to clinch the 7 seed. When the time is running down, because they were winning big, the time is running down. There's 30 seconds left in the game. I start hearing from my spot on the sideline, "We want Boston," and it engulfs the entire arena. And now I'm saying "we want Boston" because everybody wants to say, "Oh, we don't want Boston." until it's time to say we want Boston. And at that point, I'm assuming they're going to lose in 4 or 5. So I'm like, I don't care. I'll say we want Boston because I know they're going to lose anyway. And then they win. So that makes it 10 times better. So that game was awesome. And that Flyers game was awesome. But if I had to pick one, I'd go with the Sixers game.
Great answers. I love them. Tell a little bit about the Saquon one, too. I mean, KJ's not here, so he can't talk about it. But feel free to talk about that one, too. I wasn't there for that game.
Oh, Tyler was at the divisional round. That's awesome. That's sick. Closest game of that playoff run. That's an awesome game. The Saquon game. So I only go to like one Eagles game a year, if even, 1 or 0 Eagles games. But when we go, my family and I get pretty good seats because we only go to one. So I was on one side of the 50-yard line at about the 40. Second row, which is awesome. Guess where the Saquon hurdle happened? At that 40.
Wow.
So it was like right in my view line. That viral clip of Reed Blankenship going like, when he does it, I watched that happen from my point on. I watched Reed Blankenship turn around and go like, that's nuts. I was on the Eagles sideline and they were freaking out. My family and I were going nuts. And we kind of didn't understand what just happened until it played on the big screen. Because we were all like in shock, like, oh my God, what the hell did Saquon just do? And it played on the big screen. And I think the crowd reaction was crazier after the replay than it was when he did it. Because when he did it, you have no idea what happened because it happened so fast. The replay is going in slow motion. Oh my God, he just jumped over a dude backwards. That is the most athletic thing I've ever seen in my life. And that was an unreal experience just being there. That game was crazy. Apart from the Saquon hurdle, Devontae Smith had that legendary one-handed grab to Kobe Dean, the game-sealing pick. So that game was elite, but that moment was what I'll always remember.
That's a good answer. So for me, it was the 2022 NFC Championship game. And I was lucky enough that I have been to every Eagles NFC Championship game that they've gone to the Super Bowl, except for the Commanders one. The Commanders one I watched with my dad at home. I could have went to the Rams game, which I have a huge regret not going to because the snowball. But at the same time, I was lucky enough to go to the Packers playoff game that same season. But the 2022 season, even though we lost, right? Hear me out on this. And I'd been to 2017 NFC Championship against the Vikings and 2022. The 2017 one was fun. Don't get me wrong. It was wild. Like, that was the loudest I've ever heard Lincoln Financial Field, I will say. Because here's why. That was a 14 or 13-year playoff drought. And it wasn't only a playoff drought. It was an NFC Championship drought at our house. So, like, that gives us the chance to go to the freaking Super Bowl in Philly. And there's not, like, a higher peak. So, especially 2017 when we didn't have one and we weren't even supposed to be there, hands down, the loudest I've ever seen that stadium. The best or my favorite was the 2022 NFC Championship. Our boy Malik Joe used to call him Chalk Dog, Tyler. That's what he called him. Brian Chalkins. Chalk Dog. He had all kinds of hilarious names for him. But, yeah, 2022, that Eagles-Niners NFC Championship. The game, the tailgate, the atmosphere, the vibes, everything, 10 out of 10. I mean, just starting off with the tailgate, it was insane. I had on a suit. I think the reason why was people came up to me, like, why do you have on a suit? I'm like, we got business to take care of. They're like, oh, okay. I'm like, yeah, fuck it. You know, the interviews were insane. Niners fans were outnumbered. They were still as moronic as they are today, but they were outnumbered. And we were booing them left and right. People were throwing stuff at them. They were getting so angry, so offended. I think that was the season that Joey Bosa's brother on the side of the stadium, had a freak out, or Nick Bosa's brother. Maybe it was Joey Bosa.
It was
He
Joey,
freaked out on Eagles fans. He embarrassed himself, made a complete ass out of himself. So you have that whole thing playing out. But the game, we just dominated. Like, Hassan Reddick dominated that game. And I will never forget just how confident I was leaving that game. Like, holy fuck. We're going to hang with the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Like, we can beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. And we did. Not that year, and we hung with them that year. I'll say that. But we eventually came back and beat the Chiefs. So the only other team that can say that they did that is Tom Brady, the freaking GOAT, his old dilapidated ass. Nobody else can say that they have beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl and taken down Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. So I think that goes to show for something. But yeah, 2022 NFC Championship for me was my favorite or the coolest event. If I had to give a second, it would probably be the 2017 NFC Championship. And actually a third. All mine are Eagles. Shocker. But we went to the Miracle at the Meadowlands. Or not the Miracle. I'm sorry. If I was there, yeah, I saw your face. Yeah. We were at the Massacre at the Meadowlands. Still pretty cool, but not the Miracle at the Meadowlands. But when they beat the shit out of the Giants, like 44-6. So we made a video, and there was this kid, and great kid, TikToker named Mr. Jack Football. And he's like, the Eagles will lose this game. Come back to the Eagles after they lose this game. And he's like, just watch, the Giants are going to win. And then the Eagles beat the shit out of them 44-6. And we're like, New York Giants, what happened? And then it was back when that was still a thing, James Strohs and all that. So we were so hyped. We're on the ride home, and it was shitty weather that game. It was pouring rain. But that's the thing about camaraderie in Philly sports. Sometimes the best moments with your friends are the shittiest weather. Like Tyler, you remember, if you haven't, Jonah, go back and look at the Raiders vlog. There is an awesome dude that has a couple beers in the vlog, but he's a good dude named Tyler that KJ interviews. And this dude is hilarious, hilarious. But he was at the Raiders game, decked out, had on, I think, a Kelsey jersey, had on these long ass earmuffs. But that Raiders game is in my top 4 or 5 Eagles games I've ever been to. Massacre at the Meadowlands, that's up there. Both those NFC championships are up there. I mean, the list goes on, but all in all, I mean, it's got to be 2022. If you guys go back and look at that vlog, that's the best part about it too, I think, for me, is I'm going to turn off the call-in line too now. Thank you to you guys who are here watching and commenting. But yeah, that was the best part for me, is that we had just started the vlogging, so I can always go back and look at that. You know what I mean? That's pretty cool. And that'll be the cool thing about this season. If you guys come tailgate with us, you'll always be able to see yourself on a 302 Birds vlog. I got to do the one from the Baltimore and the one from the All-Star game. Hopefully I can knock them out soon, because we're going to Nashville soon. But I'll get it done. I'll figure it out. So that's all we got, though. I want to thank Jonah for coming on the show tonight, helping co-host. I want to thank Justin, doing an excellent job backstage, producing, doing a great job coming up with topics, too. I want to thank Tyler holding down
shout out Tyler,
too. Thank you for being here, man. It's great to see you. And other than that, that's all I got. You got anything you want to say before we wrap up?
Go Birds.
Go Birds. Yeah, that's right. Be sure to tune in tonight. The Eagles will be playing around 7 o'clock. I will be live for the Eagles post-game show. If anybody wants to come on for that, the door's open, of course. Or if you want to call in, I would love to talk to some of you guys. But that's all we got today on Sippin' Sports. Thanks to everybody who tuned in. And as always, God bless. Go Birds. We'll see you guys next week on another episode of Sippin' Sports.